Hi, welcome to Starry Night Guitars. My name is Rich Kettner. I'm doing a series of videos on material that I practice on, the stuff that I'm working on. I'm primarily interested in jazz guitar. So my last video was on the teaching and work of the great Ted Greene. So if you're not familiar with Ted, you might want to check out his stuff. Really great. Today I'm going to talk about Joe Pass. Joe Pass was a great jazz guitar player, one of the greatest for sure. He died in 1994, so he's been gone quite a while, but there's a wealth of information about him. You can find great videos on YouTube of him doing solo stuff or playing with Oscar Peterson, Ella Fitzgerald, lots of other people, lots of great albums that he's done. If I was going to recommend one, I would say the Virtuoso albums, where it's just him solo, brilliant stuff. And then several books that you can use. So the book I have here is called Complete Joe Pass, printed by Mel Bay. I bought it like the early 2000s. It may still be in print, I don't know. Has tons and tons of great information. What I really like about it, there's a lot of great lines that Joe Pass played, solo lines, also how to apply some of the techniques that he would use in soloing. Great stuff. So I'm just going to jump right into this one section where he's talking about blues. So let me flip this page real quick. He has lots of examples, and what he does here that I think is really brilliant. Let me read the quick directions. These solos are in straight eighth notes. By eliminating rhythmic variation, you force the ear into building better melodies. Eighth note studies also tend to avoid the practice of playing memorized licks. I remember reading a story about Larry Carlton, a favorite guitar player of mine, taking a lesson with Joe Pass, and that's what Joe said. Well, let me hear you play a solo, straight eighth notes. And what it forces you to do is you can't go to your pet licks that you fall into. I'm very guilty of that. So what he's going to do here, he's playing more of a jazz blues. So rather than a traditional 1-4-5 blues, there's some 2-5s in there as well. So if I play the chords for you first. Back the page. Kind of something like that. Now here's the line he'll do. I'm going to slow it down a bit. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. Right? Great stuff. So, like for instance, here in the fourth bar, you're going from a G minor 9 to a C7 to an F7. So on the G minor, he plays the flat 3 of the G minor, the B flat, jumps right up to the minor 9, and then walks up chromatically F sharp G, which is now 5 of the C7, and walks right down to C7. G, E, C, B flat, A, 5, 3, 1, flat 7, and then to the A, which is the third of the F. He almost always finishes these lines by a chromatic movement, connecting the one chord to the next chord. These real strong movements. Or here's the cool line, he was going from a C7 to like an A altered sound. Right there, from the D to C sharp, now he's thinking the A7 flat 9. C sharp, B flat, A, G, so over an A7 flat 9. C sharp is 3, B flat is flat 9, 1 or the root, flat 7, right into the D minor. And he just does it over and over again throughout this. It's just great stuff. So if you're into improvised music, this would be a tremendous resource. And as I mentioned, I think with the Ted Green thing, you could spend a lifetime in just trying to absorb this and try to get it into your playing. It's so good. So just one final thing and I'll wrap this video up. I went to school in New Orleans, at college, at Loyola University in New Orleans in the early 1980s. And I played with a big band there, and we'd play all the big hotels, the Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott, that kind of stuff, Fairmont. And the Fairmont, while it had a large ballroom that we tended to play in, downstairs they had a private club where they'd bring in big name acts. And I remember one time I had a gig at that place and Joe Pass was playing that night. So during a break, I went downstairs to see if I could see him. And because I was wearing a tuxedo, I think I was able to just kind of sneak in the room. It was very dark. And I remember I got in there and just pulled back this curtain and he was right there. He was not more than 5 feet away from me. And I can't tell you what Joe played. I don't remember what it was or how long. I was only there a few minutes. But it was like nothing I've ever seen. Certainly the highlight for me of any kind of musical experience I've ever had in my life, you know. And he looked bored to death. I don't think people were into his music, or they were there maybe to eat, or he was having a bad day, or he had bad pasta for dinner. I don't know. Still sounded phenomenal, and it was just incredible to see him play. And you know, I don't play anything like him. I wish I could do more of the stuff that he does, but it's something I'm interested in. So I'd be happy to hear any comments anyone has or suggestions of other books that you might have that, you know, delve into this kind of stuff. But if you could check out one single album of Joe Pass's, I would recommend you find the Virtuoso album. I think there's a couple, there's 2 or 3, but the first one is just a masterpiece. And my understanding is he just went into a studio and they just rolled tape and he just played. He just did standards that he's done for years and years and years in one take. And he was playing the chords and the melody and the bass line all at once, and just brilliant stuff. Well worth checking out. So, as always, I'd love to hear your comments and enjoy the journey. God bless.